live outside of a slaughterhouse. This is an ABP slaughterhouse where they're executing cows. This industry relies on secrecy, and we're here today to force the transparency and show the consumer the reality and the truth. Our two disclaimers is that we're not here to cause alarm, harassment, distress, or any form of intimidation. We're here under our right to protest and to legally assemble and use our freedom of speech. Our second disclaimer is that we are not here today to clash with non-vegans and to point fingers at you and say we're better than you for being vegan. We're here today to come alongside you and show you the secrets that the industry tries so hard to hide to keep you non-vegan. And when you then know the truth, you then can decide. You've got an educated decision rather than a decision based on the lies. It smells so bad here, I keep catching my breath because they're killing animals right behind me. If you come into this live stream, you have to subscribe to chat. So please subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Let us know what one you are, 1, 2 or 3. Please double tap the live stream. Please share it on your socials. Let's get the likes to 50 as fast as possible so when the animals turn up, more and more people can see the truth and see the reality, and we start to give animals a chance. If you want to go into the link in the description, go into the Linktree link. There are 3 things that I want you to watch. First of all is Dominion. Second of all is Joey Carstrong and his team's latest expose, which is underneath it. And thirdly, you have Pignorant. Go right to the bottom and there is Help to Go Vegan. Go and click on all them resources. Go and see the reality and the truth as we are here today, bringing you it live, real time, outside of a slaughterhouse here at ABP. This slaughterhouse here executes dairy cows and beef cows, 2 different breeds of cows. Cows don't just produce milk because they eat grass and produce milk. They produce milk because they're mums. They have babies taken away from them. The industry don't ever tell you that. Imagine if this industry led with the marketing of what it actually does to animals. Imagine if the next time you went down the milk, cheese and dairy aisle, you saw babies being dragged away from mums and mums chasing them out the barn, chasing the farmers' trucks, bellowing and screaming and crying out because she's so in turmoil and so distraught from her baby being kidnapped from her. That's the dairy industry. Subscribe, put 1 if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to why we're here. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan, if being kind to animals triggers you. Double tap the live stream, please like and share. Imagine if they led the pig industry with honest, transparent marketing. Imagine if every time you went to the pig section, they had these pigs were executed using CO2 gas chambers. They were gassed alive. Imagine if they said that. Would you then still pick up the sausages and pick up the bacon? Kind, compassionate people wouldn't. Have we got questions? You got more questions coming in?
Yeah, Love Trek put, if there is vegan cheese, then I basically could be vegan. I think everything I own is vegan and already vegetarian when it comes to food-related stuff.
If vegan cheese is all that's stopping you, you can absolutely get vegan cheese. Cathedral City, honestly tasty, Sophie's Delight. But like Mel said, go into the link in the description and please watch Dominion. You need to know why you're vegan. Because listen, it's not just a diet. You could make a plant-based packed lunch and go to the zoo in a leather jacket, and that's not vegan. So you need to understand why we're against the exploitation of animals. Go and watch Dominion and go and see it for yourself. Go and see the truth. And there's Help to Go Vegan in that Linktree link too, right at the bottom. Help to Go Vegan by bodybuilding vegan John. And also you can go to henchherbivore.com and click on his free resources too. We're live outside of a slaughterhouse to bring the public the truth, not to clash with you. I've just told you 2 facts that the industry don't ever want you to know, especially don't ever want you to see. And we're here live to bring you the animals as they come into a slaughterhouse to be killed. We want you to connect with the animals. We want you to see them. When you go to the supermarket, you see pints of milk, blocks of cheese, and burger shapes or chicken thigh shapes. You don't see the individuals, you don't see the faces. But trust me, you are not far removed from the system. When the animals come inside here, they get executed and they get put inside packets and sent to supermarkets. You are literally 2 or 3 clicks down the line to the exploitation that happens at a slaughterhouse. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan already. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. How many likes are in this room right now?
9.
9, right, we need 50 likes before 12:30. Animals will be coming here. There's 2 trucks in there right now. When these trucks leave, they got to open the gate. The second them trucks come out, we can show you inside of a slaughterhouse, so stay on the live stream to see. And if you don't want to see inside, this is a good indication of what your heart is telling you. Your heart is already telling you that you should be vegan, because looking inside a slaughterhouse, looking at animals going to be killed, upsets you. And this is normal, but the trouble is, most of us have been what's known as taught to be speciesist. Speciesism is a form of racism to animals. We're taught that dogs and cats and dolphins and horses, we love them animals, but cows, chickens and pigs, We can send them to slaughterhouses to be killed.
Oh, it looks like a truck's going to come out in a minute.
Yeah.
Drivers in
I
there.
I kind of had a feeling that they would be. This is speciesism. It's a form of racism towards the animals. Don't be speciesist. Don't be racist to animals. This is like a new security guard as well. I haven't seen this guy before.
That's the dancing guy, isn't it?
Oh, he's a dancer.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
a dancing guy.
I couldn't see. Yeah, I couldn't see. Guys, subscribe, put one in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put two in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe, put three in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. We're here today to bring you the reality and the truth of these industries so you can make educated decisions. And we want you to go into the link in the description and watch Dominion. It's the top link, the top documentary. Please go and watch it. Underneath, you've also got Pignorant and Joey Carlstrong's latest expose. The industry works so hard to keep this hidden, and we're working so hard to bring it out to reality. Oh my gosh, the smell that's just come out of that slaughterhouse is absolutely horrific. It's a common thing that happens to dairy cows that the industry won't want you to know. I'll tell you, but please subscribe one for vegan, subscribe two for non-vegans, subscribe three for anti-vegans. In the dairy industry, cows are so extensively milked that their bodies collapse. They're known as down dairy cows. They often go down on the slaughter truck on the way to be killed because it takes it out of them. The last little journey standing up is hard. When they go down in these trucks, they get executed and killed in the truck, often sometimes in front of other animals too. Now this is why these trucks spend so long in the washdown area, not just because they're washing away the feces of the animals that have come in, but because they could be clearing up the murder scene of an individual who was stabbed to death on a truck for a burger, for a cheese, for a yogurt made from her breast milk that was intended for her baby. It's absolutely horrific. Don't be part of this, don't be responsible or part of this evil, violent industry. Subscribe for one in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe for two in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe for three in the chat if you're anti-vegan.
Was he
Double tap the
tipping
live
out?
Stream. Say again?
Was he tipping out over there? He just tipped
What is
something
that?
out over there.
What is it? Did you see?
No, look, we've got security here. We've got two trucks in here already. Cameras
Two
on
trucks,
us.
two
Up here
security.
as well.
Yeah. This gate is on a manual running system because they don't want you to see the truth. Ask yourself, an industry that prides itself on humane and ethical treatment, an industry that is apparently so loving to animals, animal farmers love their animals, all the other marketing BS. If that is all true, then why when we come here with the cameras do they work so hard to hide everything? Why don't they let us see the animals? Why don't they talk? Why don't the farmers come out of these places and talk? We try and interview all of them. Why when the farmers come out, don't they ever stop? They never stop and get interviewed. They never stop and fight in their corner. They always just swear, laugh and drive off. Animal farmers never, ever, ever show you the truth, and they will never, ever, ever stop and talk because they know the minute they stop and open their mouth, they're literally putting the rope around their own neck in their own industry. Because even when you dress these industries up and you say them in the nicest possible way, they sound sadistic, they sound violent, they sound absolutely corrupt and evil. Subscribe, put one in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put two in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe, put three in the chat if you're anti-vegan. We're live outside of a slaughterhouse to bring you the truth of an industry that relies on secrecy. We're not here to clash, we're not here to point fingers. We're here to talk, to educate, and to bring you alongside and turn your head against the industry. Most people who are angry with vegans telling you the truth, their anger gets directed towards the industry once they understand and they go vegan. Because for however many years of your life you've not been vegan, it's because the industry have lied to you and indoctrinated you.
Scoutser, you don't know the hell farmers go through, mate. Wow.
I don't know, you're trying to victimize the farmers?
You should see the investigation that just come out.
Go into the description of this live stream, go on the Linktree link and go to the second link where a Gold Cup winning dairy farmer here in the UK has just been investigated and exposed with Joey Armstrong and his team. You go and see what the poor farmers have to deal with. Farmers of animals are not the victims. In my opinion, animal farmers should be in prison for the rest of their lives. They should never be granted parole. They should be locked up. The keys should be thrown away, and they should rot in prison cells forever, in my opinion, for what they do to animals. They're different to the members of the public. They're different to the consumers. You don't stand a chance. You didn't know any better. You only know the lies that replace the transparency. But animal farmers have known all along what they do to animals. Animal farmers know all the time that they force pregnancies on mums. They take babies away. They do all sorts of evil mutilations to animals. When I swap over with Mel in a minute, she's going to tell you all about the civilization collapse, Absolute nonsense. Animal farmers own businesses. The businesses that they own are immoral and unethical. And in my opinion, they should be held accountable for what they do to animals.
Yeah, animal farmers are not fit for purpose to live amongst the innocent. It's evil what animal farmers do. They know they mutilate animals every single day on their farms. They force animals to gas chambers. They force pregnancy on mother cows, gentle mothers. They force them in something called a cattle crush. They can't escape. Their neck is literally tied in. They can't move. There's a cage around them. The farmer puts a glove on up to his shoulder, puts himself inside the cow, up to her arm, injects her with bull semen and makes her pregnant. Disgusting. They kick their udders all the time. They get knives and they stab animals. They kick them in the face. They punch them, hit them, whack doors on them, whack metal things on them all the time. Every single farm, every single investigation that comes out, there is criminal animal abuse happening at all of these farms, okay? Never has there been an investigation without any of this happening. Horrific. And even if it didn't, the standard practice is still making them pregnant, taking away their babies. Mother cows are so maternal. They are extremely maternal animals. They love their babies. The moment they give birth to their baby, they get up and they lick and clean their baby. Then the farmer, the disgusting evil scumbag, comes in, removes her baby, kills her baby if they are a male, sends them to a slaughterhouse, still removes her baby if they're female, puts her in an isolation booth away from her mum. The mother cries, the worst cries I've ever heard for her baby. That was her baby, and some disgusting evil scumbag took her baby away because they want to steal her breast milk intended for her baby to sell to you. You are normal people who are not animal farmers. You don't understand these industries. That's not your fault. The animal farmers only know propaganda and lies. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. Let's put 4 in the chat if you're anti-animal farmer. Anti-animal farmer, anti-slaughterhouse workers. I am. They should be in prison. And that would be nowhere near what they deserve. They should be in prison for the rest of their life. But you know what happens on these farms? It gets reported. And like 0.01% of farms ever have anything happen. And at the bare minimum, they might suspend somebody. There was over 500, 600 cases of animal cruelty on the farm Joey Carbstrong just released. What are they going to do about it? It's horrific. The animals have no one fighting for them. Animal farmers are not friends to the animals. They're evil monsters.
Vegan Christianity, thank you so much for your kind super thanks. Nothing kind happens on any kill floor. Absolutely
not. And like I said, if you are someone who is conditioned potentially, like I used to believe the farmers, I used to believe, oh yeah, they care about their animals. Yeah, of course, yeah. No, even if that was the truth, which isn't the truth whatsoever, it's just a mouthpiece to you, they all get sent to a slaughterhouse to be killed, to be stabbed in the throat. All cows from the dairy industry, all of their babies. Cows only produce milk for their babies, not for humans. But the farmers forget to tell you that part, don't they? They forget to tell you the part where they take their babies away and kill them. They forget to tell you the part where they trap their babies in this crush and dehorn them with a hot iron bar on their head. They forget to tell you this, don't they? They forget to tell you that they constantly make them pregnant and force themselves inside the animal, don't they? They forget to tell you. They forget to tell you all this stuff, because if you knew the truth, if you knew all those animals went to slaughterhouses and what they do to animals, everybody would be up in arms. There would be a war amongst the normal people of the world against the animal farmers and slaughterhouse workers, okay? The biggest war is happening to the animals. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. If you think what I'm saying is not true, go and look at the investigation literally dropped yesterday and the day before by Joey Carbstrong on this award-winning farm, Gold Cup winner.
Renee, thank you so much for your kind super thanks.
Thank you.
All super thanks, by the way, always goes towards defending the animals, and it's also going towards our matching grant. We have about £18,000 to unlock our matching grant. So all of this is going towards unlocking that. So hopefully we get that unlocked. Renee's comment says, everyone loses with animal slavery. Most of all, the animals. Of course, it makes no sense. In Austria, we have drought and farmers are running out of feed. It's so dumb. Stop breeding them.
It is. It's literally a dumb business. It's not the backbone of society. When animal farmers say we're feeding the world, no, they're not. They're actually taking away food that could be feeding the world and giving it to the animals who they then kill on a kill floor. Okay? And then they lie to you, they mug you off. They think you're so dumb and so stupid that you're going to believe their lies. But the thing is, because they are lying all the time, because marketing, adverts, the news is constant, it's everywhere you go. Animal farmers are forcing their propaganda down your throat everywhere. You don't stand a chance of even knowing the truth. So we're here as your friend, telling you the reality, because I'm here to defend the animals I once paid to be slaughtered for me as well. I owe the animals, you owe the animals. It's our species that has done this to animals. It's our species that must stop. And if you are not vegan, not vegetarian, vegan, you pay for the exploitation of animals. And you can stop today and live vegan. Veganism is just a normal person. Normal people are vegan. It's just that normal people just don't understand the industries.
Marcos, thank you so much, as always, for such kind, super thanks.
Thank you.
Marcos, thank you, forever vegan.
I love that. Thank you so much for always defending the animals with us. Thank you so much. The animals don't hardly have anyone helping them. They only have vegan animal rights activists. The RSPCA is against them. Animal farmers are monsters. The slaughterhouse workers shout at them, stab them in the throat. They're being sent to gas chambers. They're being used and experimented on. All because humans are seeing them as a use and a commodity for us. They are not here for us. If you are not vegan, then that is a form of racism. It's speciesism. It's treating someone different purely on the way that they look, because they look different to you. Just like how men used to treat women different. Just like how people of color used to, white people used to treat other people of colour and race different and would use them, exploit them, and have them as slaves. Now that's happening to the animals. Cows in the dairy industry only produce milk for their babies, not for you. If you're human, you're sending cows to slaughter. You're sending their babies to slaughter. It's not fair, it's not okay. Animals want to live just like you and I. They don't want to be slaves. The footage of Joey Carstring's investigation that came out is heartbreaking. There was three minutes straight of hitting, whacking, punching, slamming gates on calves, burning cigarette butts out on their faces.
Got a lot of animal farmers in here, by the way, saying like, oh yeah, I'm a racist, oh yeah, I beat my animals.
Yeah, you do.
They're trying to play like the sarcastic card, you know, and people are saying like, just basically like that, like sarcastically saying, yeah, I'm a monster, I'm a monster.
Yeah, it's because you are. So they don't know what else to do, because they know everything we say is truth. That's why they actually get paid.
How would the animals describe them?
Yeah, the animals would describe you as the devil, the most monstrous, evil bully to them. These animals are gentle, sweet, kind. You're bullying animals for your own profit and your greed. What a scumbag. What happened in your life that made you have no heart? What happened? Disgusting. Brainwashed by your granddad and dad. Please subscribe and double tap the live stream. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live, like, share and comment. I'm at Slaughterhouse right now. Somewhere animal farmers never enter, by the way. They come and drop the animals off. They leave them and act. They commit the ultimate act of betrayal. I see how the animal farmers are, with their sticks, prodding them, electrocuting them, tail twisting them. They don't care. In fact, they laugh. See them dancing as the animals go in. They're horrific scumbags, animal farmers and slaughterhouse workers, but most people are not like that. Animal farmers are like this religious cult who think that morals don't apply to them. Maybe they think that killing animals is part of their religion. It's disgusting, it's demonic, it's an evil force in the world that needs to be abolished. Be abolished. The animals need you to defend them. Okay, if there's animal farmers on here, you truly care about animals, then why the hell do we have to constantly rescue animals from you and put them in sanctuaries? Okay? If you were someone, no one has to rescue animals from a sanctuary, somewhere who actually loves animals, adores animals and doesn't use them as profit, but they all get rescued from you guys, all get rescued from animal farms. Okay? Those piglets at 6 months all get forced into CO2 gas chambers. You think that's love? You think stabbing animals is love?
Actually, do you know what? Even thinking about animal sanctuaries even existing is such a sad thought. Animal sanctuaries are literally places where individuals have been rescued from exploitation. It's like taking all of like the prisoner of war camps and putting them somewhere to be safe. Like, this is what it is. We go there and we spend time with the animals and it's really nice to spend time with them. But you have to remember, these animals have been rescued. This isn't just like a nice place where they don't hurt animals. The individuals at these places were actual victims of the industry. They were victims of exploitation. They were oppressed, they were commodified, they were exploited, but luckily some of them made it out of the system. Now, if you're someone who is kind and compassionate, if you have an empathetic heart, why don't we get all animals out of these systems that are evil? Why don't we get all animals out of this exploitative, evil, violent industry? Why don't we all go vegan and stop this violence on the most vulnerable? Subscribe for one if you've done it already. Subscribe for two for non-vegans who are kind. Subscribe and free for anti-vegans. Double tap the live stream. Go to the link in the description, watch Dominion, and there's help to go vegan in there too.
Mark Source that vegetarian may still reduce more suffering than a hostile vegan.
We're not on about reducing suffering. We're on about stopping exploitation. I could reduce suffering by being racist only 2 days a week, but it doesn't mean that it will make racism ethical or moral. You stop racism by saying that anyone deserves rights who has sentience. Anyone has the right to their own life and their right to their bodily autonomy. You don't try and reduce it. We're not here for welfare. We're not here to say greener grass, bigger cages, nicer farmers. We're here to say that animals should be left alone. Stop being forced into existence, stop being used, stop being exploited.
How can someone say, as a vegetarian saying, oh, I kill less animals and make less animals suffer? You literally send animals to slaughterhouses, you're no different.
Yeah,
exactly the same.
Vegetarians don't know. A lot of vegetarians go vegetarian for ethical reasons because they never consider anything else. Veganism is not a diet, by the way, guys. Veganism is an ethical position against exploiting animals. An example of it would be a vegetarian might make a plant-based packed lunch and go to the zoo in a leather jacket. So think of it that way around.
Chris Witts, what do you say to this kind of person? No one will listen to your brainwashing, no to veganism.
Yeah, well listen, we're not the ones who are doing the brainwashing. I'll explain what I mean, but subscribe and put one if you're vegan. Subscribe for two if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put three if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, more beeps and thumbs up of appreciation. The brainwashing has already been done. You're the brainwashed one, whoever the handle was, I can't remember. The brainwashing starts when you're a very young child. And the brainwashing intensifies and increases as you grow up. What I mean by it, I say it a lot of the time, but I'll say it again. Children's books, Happy Animal Farmers, nursery rhymes about animal farmers, Little Bo Peep, Old MacDonald, all of these nursery rhymes, children's books on the farm. Indoctrination and brainwashing starts then. Then you get older and you're told, eat your milk, drink your milk, eat your cheese, eat your eggs for protein. Indoctrination and conditioning, brainwashing starts then. Then you get older than doctors and teachers and parents. And as you grow up, there's layers and layers and layers of this brainwashing. When you go vegan, you've undone all that brainwashing. You've lifted the smoke over the lies. You've lifted the lies and you've seen the transparency. So pointing at vegans and saying that we're trying to brainwash you by simply showing you the truth is absolutely crazy. It's probably a defense comment because you know vegans are right. Everyone knows vegans are right. It's just that anti-vegans get triggered by it and they say anti-vegan comments, and kind, compassionate people stop and think about it. Subscribe for one if you're already vegan. Subscribe for two if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe for three if you are anti-vegan, if being kind to animals upset you. We are live outside of a slaughterhouse to undo the brainwashing, to show you the reality and the truth, to talk to you about what made us vegan, to talk to you about the secrecy and the lies that the industry have put in place of any form of transparency. We want you to go and see it further. We want you to go into the link in the description and go and watch Dominion. Go and watch Joey Carstrong and his team's latest expose on a Gold Cup award-winning dairy farm. Go and watch Pignorant and go to the bottom for help to go vegan.
We've got loads of people saying, go tell that to a lion.
You're not lions. It's as simple as that. You're not lions. This is an appeal to being an apex predator who is an obligate carnivore with no moral agency in a survival situation. You're not any of those. We're big, blubbery, useless, soft human beings, and we have options in all the supermarkets we go to. So we can't take one thing, we can't cherry pick an attribute because we have this appeal to being an apex predator. It's absolute nonsense. You go to Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Aldi, you go to a shop, a supermarket, you're not an apex predator in the wild surviving.
I think this is a farmer, country life. So I'm a racist, monster, bully and a brainwasher, and you say you're kind.
If you're an animal farmer, yes.
Yeah.
If you're an animal farmer, the reality is, if you're an animal farmer, you are.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're racist, by the way. I'm saying you're speciesist, which is a form of racism. So you're speciesist to the animals if you are not consistent. Maybe you're consistent. Maybe you believe that all animals should be exploited. So maybe you're not speciesist. Maybe you're just evil towards animals. But Animal farmers, yes, you do that to all the animals. Animal farmers are getting really upset and triggered because animal rights activists are actually showing the reality of who they are. It's like they've been able to fool the world with this facade that they're good, kind people doing little bits for the community, making these appearances. But actually now, animal rights activists are showing you, the world, who you actually are. And they don't like it because the world is discovering that anyone who is an animal farmer is an evil person towards animals. You have to be. How can you say that you're kind towards animals when you send them to slaughterhouses? How can I say that I love my wife, but I'm going to beat her and send her to a slaughterhouse when I want to profit off of her?
And then be shocked when people say you're a monster.
And then be shocked when people say, oh, the animal farmers are bad people. You've got to be crazy. You can't love animals and send them to slaughterhouses. It doesn't work. Subscribe for one if you're vegan. Subscribe for two if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe for free if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Please like, share, and subscribe. Go to the link in the description and watch Dominion, watch Joey Carstrong's latest expose, and watch Ignorant. You'll see the reality and the truth for itself. We're not making up the lies. We're not brainwashing. We're not spending billions of pounds to try and keep you conditioned. We're showing you the truth.
Wow, Mark Stores put, a movement becomes stronger when it welcomes progress instead of punishing imperfection.
No, this is all just nonsense for you to stop making a move and do the right thing. You want perfection before you're willing to do the right thing. It's easy to blame the messenger and say, you didn't deliver the message properly, you made me feel judged, so therefore I will take no action. It's just an absolute load of nonsense. It's an excuse for you to try and remove your personal accountability, and we won't let you have it. It doesn't matter if we were the most obnoxious, rude, judgmental, horrible animal rights activists that literally stood here and called you every name under the sun and pointed our fingers at you. It doesn't matter if we was to do that. The message of being vegan still wouldn't change. It still would mean, it would still be right to be vegan. It would still be the ethical and moral choice to be vegan. So don't try and use that. And by the way, we're always saying on here, we're not here to judge. We're not here to